Hello, beautiful soul. So glad that you can join me here today. It's been a very, very busy morning for me and a busy afternoon for me. And I've finally had a moment to stop and pause. And as I'm pausing, reflecting on the week, I've realized that through this week, I've been filling my day with lots of things. Reading, crocheting, working, mother duties, home care duties, cooking, etc., etc. But this week, I haven't allocated to as much time for just being. And I've really felt the difference between not having this space to just be versus doing. And as I ponder on why I created that space, I realized that it was an old pattern that I've been just carrying on with, where sometimes without even realizing it, I fill my time up with activities to do. And other times I realize it, but it's almost like there is a resistance to being with myself. And I don't mean a resistance to being with myself while reading or crocheting or walking or anything else, because those things involve me doing those things by myself. I mean a resistance to being truly present with myself. Often doing that can sometimes feel very monotonous or emptying or numbing sometimes, if I'm honest. But often I realize if I can get beyond that initial resistance, which looks like boredom or a sense of emptiness, which in itself is not bad really, but just this feeling of almost lack, I would say, when you just sit with yourself, if you're not doing something simple like enjoying a scenery or just being with your thoughts through journaling or painting or drawing. I guess what I'm saying is, over this last week, I've realized how even though I have been dedicating more and more time to being present with myself, there are still aspects of myself that I realize I have kind of neglected. And those are the bits where I can literally sit and be present with myself without doing anything. I don't mean that we need to do that all the time. But what if these spaces or these long breaths in between or these intervals of just sitting with yourself and just being were actually what your soul was yearning for? As I sit here and I just sit with myself and I record this podcast, I'm still doing something. And in a sense, I'm not completely just being with myself. I wonder and ponder how much of myself I have missed out on as a result of constantly filling my whole space with things to do, even when I am with myself. This lack of presence and ability to witness myself through this phase or this space of emptiness can sometimes feel almost deafening to the ears. The silence can be deafening to the ears. But recently I have managed to find a place in my whole being where I can feel the sweet melody of the silence instead of it being a resistance to push against. And in this beautiful golden silence that I have found inside myself, in my body, when I am just still and present with myself, there's a richness in the silence that nourishes me and nurtures me and brings the parts of me that are worn out and tired back to life. And I can only do that when I am truly present with myself in quietness. It's the part of me that's the most relaxed, the most chilled out. And when I look into my body for those parts of me that are most relaxed and chilled out, for me it's usually in the area of the womb where I feel the most nurtured and silent and protected. It's more a feeling and a presence of yourself that you get to be present to, if that makes sense. It's a stillness that is so delightfully quietening, yet enfolding, yet holding in a sweet, warm embrace that's still freeing in some way. And even now, I'm conscious of this space of being in myself right now. And it's a feeling to connect deeper to inside. This place of great quietness. And so I think back to all the times I've resisted just being because I was afraid of or didn't want to experience the boredom of just being without doing anything. And I realized that actually I was missing out on the beautiful silence inside my soul. And it's not just a silence in the region of the womb, but it's actually the silence of my soul. The quietness, the richness, the space of being. Eckhart Tolle, I believe, speaks a lot about this and about just being the witness of everything that is happening in your space and in your body. And there's a certain expanded aliveness that is difficult to put into words that comes about when you truly start getting present with your body. All habits, however, do die hard, and even now I can sense the parts of me that are yearning to flick on the phone or get onto a book or just do something, do anything. And I actively have to tune into that part of me that is so relaxed and silent and just happy to just be here. So here I am having this conversation with you, sharing this with you. I guess the reason I'm doing that is so that more and more of us can start to truly practice this feeling of being present with ourselves in this space of just being as opposed to doing all the time. Because I believe the true rejuvenation and restoration of who we are comes from this place of being rather than doing. And I hope and wish for you that you have many spaces of being in your day today, as I hope to have in mine too. Take care and much love.